All right. Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to episode 173 of Conservatish. My name is Peter Feliciano. Make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening. Share this with your less offendable friends. Find me on Instagram at Peter_Feliciano, on Facebook, on Twitter, I think at Rule62Peter, and on Parler, and on TikTok at Conservatish. And you can also support this podcast and my music at patreon.com/conservatish. Or if you want to just Venmo me, Peter-Feliciano. Ladies and gentlemen, POMI. Yay. Thank you so much for coming back on, sir.
Dude, I'm so excited to be back on. I went from just a guest to a conservatish cult leader. I'm a fan. I watch every.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Are you gonna be the type of cult leader who requires money or sex or both?
Definitely both.
All right, good man.
Both, definitely.
Only it has to involve at least a little sex if you're actually a fan of my podcast. So let's see. First things first. Where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere: Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. It's all POMI music. My TikTok has yet to be shadow banned like Peter's, so it's all the same, every platform. And yeah, I fucking make music and I act like an idiot, and sometimes it's entertaining.
Yes. I actually I started a different TikTok account just to like sidestep the Chinese. It's worked out fine. I've had a lot of luck with the new one. It's been not growing as quickly, I think, but even quicker in some other ways. So first things first, I don't know how you want to phrase it, but I think it's time that you come out.
Yeah, this is the me coming out of the closet episode on Conservatish. That, I mean, I'll just generalize it at first, and then we can kind of pick and choose what we're going to talk about. But I guess for me, a lot of my experience lately with everything that's happened politically, like from the riots to the election to the everything that's going on, a year and a half ago to 2 years ago, I was very much left leaning out of ignorance, out of complete ignorance, because that's what I know my friends are doing. That's what I know my family's doing. And because I live in fucking California and that's what we do here, and not a lot of us are really using our own brains. And it kind of started with me watching episodes of Conservatish. And it started with me watching Steven Crowder's Change My Mind and listening to him, and I started to do some of my own research. And the first thing that kind of pushed my mindset a little bit was doing my research on police brutality. And in the stats for, there's this awesome kid. I think I see you repost some of his stuff. Amir, I forgot his last name.
Doxon, yeah.
Amir, yeah.
DOXOM, I think.
Yeah. And so, I saw something of his get posted to just go fact check it. And, it was that fuck, it's early. That the crime rate from Black people to white people, Black people are committing more crime and getting killed less. And so the thing that getting killed less. I think I got that right.
You mean unarmed Blacks? Because I think there are still, obviously armed. There are. It's pretty commensurate with the population percentage wise. But do you mean unarmed?
Yeah. Well, the thing that I always thought is that you hear that, well, there's more whites in America, so they're gonna get killed. They're gonna get killed in crime more because there's more opportunities for that to happen. And the stats show that like blacks are committing more crime and getting killed less, and in the situations that are publicly in like social media and media and news, we're telling the story completely fucking wrong from what it actually is. And that like that started to like open my mind to everything else, because I like became aware of kind of that like the news isn't here to tell me the truth. Social media is not here to tell me the truth. And it's my job as an individual and American to go out and like look into these issues and do my own research and realize what's really going on here. And yeah, I don't know. Like that's kind of where the journey started. And when we hopped on a phone call, you know, like a month and a half or 2 months ago.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that. That was a great phone call.
Because I went and like looked at that, and that's when I was looking at crime rates, and that's when I was looking at all these different stories in the news and that like BLM uses to say that like, oh, you know, black people are like hunted down in the streets. The stats just don't show that. And like, you know, before I didn't do it, you know, I believed it off the stats. And like, I live in fucking Pacifica and I grew up here. Like, I'm a guilty white motherfucker. I'm
Let
like,
me pause you there. Let me pause you there because I thought about this. Pacifica is both kind of halvesy well off and also super white trash at the same time. There's a weird white trash thread. It's like a surfer white trash though. It's not like a regular white trash. It's like a surfer white trash. We've talked about it on the show before, you and I.
it's got the trailer park and the meth to it, so it gives it like a little.
It's got a thick meth. it's like you ever watch Downton Abbey?
No.
Yeah, I know you shouldn't, because I got fucking obsessed with that show because I'm super fucking manly. And they have like the sitting room, you know, in these giant sprawling English estates. They have a dining room and a sitting room and a library and a this and a what. It's like meth in the sitting room. You know what I mean? It's like high class, nice area, but everyone's, you know, kind of fucking nuts. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird town. Anyway, you're in Pacifica.
Yeah, and that off the bat, like I have never been somebody who's into politics until like really recently. And when all the George Floyd stuff started coming up, what came with it, like the last years of all these incidents that a lot of them have been mistold. You know, if you look into them, a lot of them have been mistold. And so, you know, I turn on the news, or I see my mom watching it, or I go on Instagram and social media, and everywhere on media, this idea is portrayed that black people are hunted down by police. And the second I took, you know, a little bit of time and energy to go look at my own research, I said, whoa, what the fuck? Like, I really like, I can't believe everything I'm told, you know, and that sounds so ignorant and it like hurts my pride to say that today. But that's the truth, you know. The truth is that like, you know, I was just kind of believing it as the story gets told to us. And to actually have clarity on like what goes on in society or what goes on basically, there's so much more that like I need to do on my own and look into, and not just base it off shit that's being fucking fed to me, you know.
Right. So it started a couple of months ago, and you decided you're gonna kind of do your own research and not just be automatic. I mean, even on my show, when you and I have had conversations before in the past, it's never been like you were so liberal to the point of, I mean, any like diehard social justice warrior wouldn't even listen to my show, much less come on it. So you were open enough to do that, Lord knows. So, you know, but what happened for you when you started to realize that externally? You know what I mean? You were already talking about the internals of like questioning yourself and feeling like a pride thing. Was there a weirdness with the people around you? Have you told anybody? Have you not?
So for me, there's like a lot of fucking shame with it. there's a lot of shame because like I don't know many other people. You know, I have one or two like real close friends that, you know, like feel the same way or that are more right leaning or like totally conservative too. And like those are people that I can discuss it with. But especially right now, it's like this taboo topic. Like if you're anything but social justice warrior left, and like I don't know how it is in New York, but like that's how it is in like fucking California. And if you're anything besides that, it's like, don't talk about it. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to have open discussions. And like that's just kind of fed me to do more of my own research and watch more conservative people speaking on issues and look more into stuff because I'm like, fuck, like I can't even talk about this with anybody
Right.
because I felt like, you know, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, like I'm like society's like out to get me because like,
Right,
you
right,
know,
right.
like I'm
I'm not
writing,
as cheap anymore, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, I get you.
but at the same time, it is, you know, I'm not looking to get into fights and like fucking shitty interactions with people all day. I just want to have conversations about something that I've done research on and have found different. So I think that like there, you know, there started to be like some shame about it and I didn't have like a like total place to express that, but doing my own research and like talking to you and talking to my one good friend that's like that kind of helped that, and it just like it just went further, you know. I'm like, okay, well, like let's look into somebody like Trump, you know, that is like on social media and news hated. He is the devil. He is Adolf fucking Hitler himself, you know. And the, like one of the funniest things I've ever heard, I think it was you that said it on one of your episodes, was that like Trump is not your dad. Like he's not your fucking dad that didn't show you love, that fucking was not affectionate towards you. And like, you know, like I'm not somebody that stands by like everything he says. I think he like acts like a fucking idiot and he needs to keep his fucking mouth shut sometimes.
Mhm.
So do I. So do I, you know. Um, but you know, that was like the next thing I started looking into, and I was like, oh, like he actually has policies and has done things that have helped out black communities, and he's painted as this racist leader and like, you know, and I started understanding more about like why illegal immigration is a problem. And I started understanding more about why, if we just have universal health care, we're going to end up like a place like fucking Canada, where like healthcare as a whole is way shittier. And if you get a bullet hole in your leg, you might be waiting 7 hours to get into the ICU, you know, like, and so these are all things that just came the more I kind of like opened my mind and started doing some of my own research. Um, and it was stuff, for me, it was so mind blowing because it was stuff that I believed out of ignorance. You know, it was nothing anybody had any like, anybody presented any factual evidence to me. I was just like, oh yeah, that's the way it, you know, that's the way it works. Like America's a racist country. America's a bad country. Da da da. And that was my belief. But I look into it and I start thinking for myself and I see the exact opposite. You know, like today, like I think everyone that lives here has an equal opportunity. You know, I don't think anybody is impressed in any kind of way, that makes it impossible for them to be successful. You know, like I know black women that are successful. I know black men that are successful. I know Latino men and women that are successful. I know fucking black transgender people that are successful, you know, like,
And I know broke ass white motherfuckers. I know suicidal white motherfuckers. I know, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like this is complicated. I mean, that's the whole point. So I had a similar experience to you. For me, it was watching some Milo and realizing, oh fuck, I think I kind of agree with some of the things he's saying. You know what I mean? And then starting to dig and starting to listen. And the main reason I started this show is because sure, I wanted to have a place to rant and help my career and stuff, but also it was because I wanted to be a stick in the mud. You know what I mean? Like I've never come from a place of like, I've done all research forever and ever. Amen. I've never come from that place of like, I am, a pundit, or I am a whatever the fuck. I just want to be the fucking, I want to be the dyke. I don't even know. I want to be the like this wave of bullshit. I want to be the dissonant note. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I want to be the person who makes people go, wait, I hate all conservatives, but I like, or I hate all Trump voters, but there's Pete. Oh, but there's Pete. I'll fucking face the goddamn backlash. Oh, but there's Pete. Fine. I'll be that fucking guy. You know what I mean? Because I can handle it. And I'm too talented and creative and wonderful and generous. Let me just be real. For motherfuckers, I know that there's a dissonant note, that there are people right now. I posted something about how meditation was great yesterday. And there's people who are liking that and commenting, blah, 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 on Facebook. And I fucking know they don't listen to my podcast. And I know that they've seen some of the conservatish things or the Trump supporting things that I've carefully posted online. And I know it sticks in their craw a little bit, but they can't quite unfriend me yet. And I'm like, you goddamn right. No shit. Dumb. That's what I'm fucking saying. This is complicated. There's nuance. This is, you know what I'm saying? That's essentially why I wanted to start this.
Well, and it's so easy right now to see somebody with one belief and like just fucking characterize it as this type of person. I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I do it, Like, I see like somebody who's doing some fucking like bleeding hard left shit, and I'm like, I don't even want to fucking like I don't even want to speak to you.
Yeah.
But like I'm guilty of that too. And that's the problem that I see right now, is that there's so much not willingness to talk about it and to have open conversations about it, and to understand that if you voted for fucking Trump, you're not a fucking racist, sexist, homophobic, fucking, like white supremacist motherfucker. And also, if you voted for Biden, you may not be a fucking commie either. You may be one, but you may not be one.
Right.
Like, and
you may not be, you may just be ignorant.
I was almost that person, like,
right. Or at the very least, I mean, the same thing goes. If I'm going to have to practice, if I'm preaching this thing about the principle of complication, the same thing goes. I have to practice principles before personalities in my relationships with liberals as well. I can't just go, you're all dumb, snowflake, blah, blah, blah. That's why I can't stand these dumb motherfuckers. Because some of you, I don't think anybody who follows me for long, but Mike and I have talked about it, where like, if someone follows us and they have like patriot in their bio, or like Christian mother, it's like, this is not going to go well for you, baby. Like, you need, because I'm going to talk about ass eating or fisting in like 2 seconds. So, be careful. The same thing goes. If you have one of those like, all cops are bad, then you're a dumb cunt, right? And if you have patriot, everybody who voted for Biden is a pedophile, you're a dumb cunt too. It's dumb country on both sides. It's not just one side.
Right. No, exactly. That's like exactly what I see. And that, like, I guess that's what like in, the influence in me that makes me wanna, like be more vocal about it. And it is super scary. It's super fucking scary for me to like voice like these opinions, but I do want to be vocal about it. And I do want to have those tough conversations, whether it's with like my immediate family, who's like way on the other side, like, or a friend, like, because I don't feel like we're going to get anywhere in the place that we are right now, and like, just through the tiny amount of research I've done, I've become somebody who like truly believes in America and in people being successful here and the American dream. And like all I'm voicing is the things that I think is going to be better for all of us.
Mhm.
I'm not I'm not like more right leaning now because like I believe like I only want white people to be successful. Like, like no, I believe in everyone in America and want to see everyone be successful. And the opinions that I have are associated with that belief. And like this idea that we think like these people over here like fucking don't want what's good for America, or these people don't want what's good for America, they may just be fucking confused, and they may not just be ready to come to a civil agreement about what's the best for this country, and like,
Right.
I don't know.
I would even say I'm on board with all of that. I would even say that we need both sides. You know what I mean? That unfettered, unchecked capitalism would leave everybody like, Harvey Weinstein and, the more vagrant examples of selfish boardroom behavior, right? Selfish, redlining and, things like that. But unfettered socialism, unfettered whatever is gonna lead to, fucking Russia, and China and Venezuela and a million other fucking examples. So I would venture to say that we need both equal, trading off. But the more, I think you're right, the more we say this side's all snowflakes and this side's all racist, we're not listening to each other. You know what I mean? And it's actually not that difficult. Like, I know it's scary to like come out because I mean, this whole show was like, people were like, wait, what? Like, wait, pizza. I even had, it's only been white cunts, by the way. It's only been skinny, no offense to skinny white people, because I know you're a skinny white person, but it's only been scruffy, bitchy white boys who have called me a Nazi. Only been scruffy, bitchy white boys. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, it's only been where somebody was like, when did Pete become alt-right? I'm like, just what? You don't even, you know what I mean? I have more fucking brown blood than anybody you fucking know, you fucking douchebag. Just because you fucking sit at the BART station, in a cipher with somebody means you're fucking liberal. Eat a dick. You're in your mom's fucking basement. Suck my fucking dick. You've never worked for anything. You've never tried anything. You sit. Literally, these motherfuckers sitting at a BART station, like, rapping with people. Oh, I'm connected to the fucking street. No, the fuck you're not. You're just lazy. You're just lazy. You don't want to work. You don't want to try. You don't want to grow up. And so you want to keep everybody else down who's doing better or speaking their fucking mind, because it's easy to speak your fucking mind when no one's fucking listening. It's easy. You lazy, shiftless douchebag. Sorry. It's fucking true though. You're saying something, you're doing something right now, which is like, okay, I think I'm putting myself out there. It's not easy to do it, but it's not that bad. There will be a couple of people who will go, but you don't like those people most of the time anyway. From my personal experience, I lost some acquaintances. I lost a couple of, like, only like one or two black people. Mostly it's just been white people who are like, I think I have to unlike this person. But mostly it's been fine. It's been fine.
Right. And like, I think we're getting to such a like good point too, which is what I like privately before, is that so much, and what I've found, and I don't want to say all liberal beliefs are like this. Like, I'm not going to go out on that fucking limb, but I'm going to say that to me, and this is a person who has a lot of experience with being the victim and playing the victim, a lot of liberal beliefs are built on the victimization of myself or the victimization of somebody else through guilt. And that feeling is not real. Like, I don't care if the worst fucking thing in the world that fucking me and you can sit here and fucking imagine happens to me. That's going to have an effect on me, like, but it is my job to move through that, do the work, to not be a victim of whatever happened to me and keep playing my role in society. And like the thing that I don't like that gets on my nerves the most is like, I don't think anyone needs to be a victim of the cards they were dealt when they like grew up, you know? I really don't.
Right.
I think we all get fucking shitty hands sometimes, you know, like, and I don't think anyone is like a victim of like the like color of their skin. And I don't think that like changes how successful you can be in society. And those are the two biggest things that we see right now, you know, like, oh my God, the poor people can't be successful. Like I saw this funny thing the other day and it said like CNN, the place where rich black people tell poor black people that they can't become rich black people.
Because of
And that,
racism. Right.
right. And that's exactly what I want to actively fight against, you know, is that like there's nothing, there's no reason to be the victim right now. And even if something is horribly done wrong to you, it's still your job to get over that at some point, do the work that you need to do, and become stronger from it. Not, poor me, I'm poor, I can never fucking make it out. And like, you know, or fucking, poor me, there was one instance where somebody who looked like me got treated in an unfair way. I can never be successful. Like, that is not for the betterment of this country and the people in it. You know, that is the type of mindset and like fucking, you know, just like emotions that are going to keep us down and keep thinking that nothing is going to change, and poor me, and keep giving out free shit, and fucking don't tell anyone that they need to work for anything, you know. Like, I just, I can't get on that side, you know. Like, I can't believe that the way to help people is to keep victimizing them. Let me tell like really short story real quick that I feel like pertains. Like, when I was struggling the most with my addiction and alcoholism, my mom told me one day that I was a danger to my little sister and to get the fuck out of the house. I did not like to hear that. That was not cool for me to hear. But because that happened, I went out into the real world and I was like, oh shit, this sucks.
Mhm.
You know. And because somebody was a little bit harder on me and gave me that kick, I realized that I need to fucking step it up and do what I need to do to become a successful person. On the other side of it, I have many of friends who never had parents that kicked them out the house because of their addiction and alcoholism, and kept feeding into that. Oh, let me give you a place to stay. I love you. It's just going to get better. And where they are right now is either still high or dead,
Right.
you know? And I just don't believe that anyone gets better, you know, whether we're talking about poverty or addiction and alcoholism or fucking whatever it is. I don't think anybody gets better by being pet farther in to being a victim,
Right.
and fucking not being forced to make that jump off the porch and fucking and get better, you know?
Um, I'll try to be careful with the way I share this, but I think it fits into what you're saying. You and I are a part of some spiritual groups, right? And one day there was a guy. There's this one part of this spiritual group that we do where you learn how to write a bunch of things and process through your trauma, through your resentments, through your fear, through your shame and sex shame and what you want for your future sex life. And like you process all this stuff in this giant, you know, thing, this step, if you will. And so there's this guy that I know who was sharing with everybody, okay, well, you know, here's how you write the resentment down. Here's how you pray about it. Here's how you try to examine what it had affected, and try to also examine your part in it. Not your part to the point of it's my fault for the resentment, but just your part in the resentment. So like, as an example, for me personally, I have had trauma, but then my part in it is I use that trauma as, I get a blank check for my behavior, everybody. I had a bad childhood. You know what I mean? I get to hurt other people now. Subconsciously, I've told myself I can hurt other people because I was hurt. You know what I mean? I can steal, I can lie, I can manipulate, I can panhandle, I can do all this stuff because life dealt me a bad hand. So that's my part, that I've been a manipulator, right? And I've hurt other people. I've been a hypocrite. And it's kind of a hard thing to talk about, but this guy told me that one time he was in this thing, and he was talking about how to process resentments and how to look at your part. And this lady said, I don't have a part in being molested. And it's like, absolutely true. If you were molested, that's not, you're a little kid. Of course you don't have a part to the point of, I brought it upon myself, or I, some spiritual teachings say that you like subconsciously, whatever the fuck, put all that aside. Nobody had a part to bring that to a little girl. That's fucking horrendous. I hope that rapist piece of shit gets fucking, whatever. Get his balls
off with his head.
Right. But it's not necessarily finding my part so that I can be the wrong one in getting molested. Not at all. But what did I do to add a little bit of air to that? Like you said, that resentment codifies. It becomes this immovable object that I carry with me throughout all my life, in every single aspect of my life. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. And God damn it, she fucking was. She absolutely was. But how can we add just a little bit of nuance? What did you do? Like, did you molest anybody else? Did you punish your mother? Because for the rest of your relationship with her, did you steal? Did you lie? Did you use that to get therapists to cry so that you could get money or get pills or get this or get that? Did you punish other relationships that you were with because I was hurt, so now I'm gonna be entirely difficult to deal with? There's a lot of different ways that there can be a part or a side of the street with someone who's a genuine victim. And she said, no, there's no way I have any part. There's no way I have any whatever. And he's like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not saying that it's your fault. I'm saying examine what you did with it afterwards, right? I'm saying examine whatever. And she's like, no, there's no way. And she stormed out of that, there was a group thing where she, she stormed out and she jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge the next day. So I understand the idea that, no, I'm not going to let go of this shame. I'm not going to let go of this anger. I'm not going to let go of this fear. I'm not going to let go of this punishment. I'm not going to let go. I'm not going to let go of the trauma. I'm fucking not, to the point of killing myself. I understand that.
Right. No,
But there's been countless women and men that I have met who have been molested and raped and yet have gotten through the trauma. So, you know what I mean? Just like I was, just to be a little ham-handed with it, why, if blackness is what's keeping black people down, why in the sweet hot fuck are there black people who are successful? Why? If that exists, if that opportunity exists, and it's not because that black person came from a good black family, Larry Elder, Thomas Sowell, these are people who grew up in the same fucking poverty right next to motherfuckers, in the same opportunity for gangs, and the same opportunity for violence, and the same Korean and white store owners following you through the store, grew up in the same problem, and yet these people didn't succeed and these people did. Why? Right? Just like the lady, God bless her fucking heart, who killed herself, who did not want to let go of the trauma. I'm not saying that's all of it, but I'm saying it's a goddamn part. If you're willing to let go, like you said, if you're willing to let go and say, okay, you know what? no matter what's coming at me, no matter what hand I'm dealt, I have a responsibility for my behavior. I have a responsibility to process my trauma. I have a responsibility to heal myself and love myself and provide for myself. And if you're not doing that because someone did something mean to me, then you have a part in that. You have a part in that.
Well, and that's, to me, you know, like that example with the lady, like that is a fucking such a good example, but a very, very real one of, you know, how hard that process is to let go to some of that trauma. But at the end of the day, like, if I'm fucking using, like, oh, I got my lunch stolen from me in third grade, and then now I'm gonna steal everyone's lunch when I'm in eighth grade and I'm still going to a K through 8 school, I'm being an immature fucking prick. You know, like, and that's the truth of it, you know, like, and the other thing you were just saying is that, like, that's exactly why, like, I and that's another part that started, you know, having me question my political views, is why I believe that, like, America is a not a racist and a fucking the most fair country that we can have, because nobody can name me one group. It can be gender, it could be fucking sexual orientation, it could be race, where everyone in that group is unsuccessful because of some physical thing about them,
Right.
or because of something that they practice. No religious group, people of all religious groups are successful here, people of all genders are successful here, people of all fucking races are successful here, you know. And like, that's exactly what had me going the other way, you know, is that I started to realize that, like, so much of what we're practicing is built on, like, not stepping up to the plate, not getting over those terrible things that happened to us, not fucking taking ourselves out of our environment and figuring out how to better that. And that was the shift for me, you know. And my own experience with that definitely, like, preceded that too, the fact that, like, I had been on the victim side and I had seen the growth in myself, and I was like, wait a sec, wait a sec, if I was a fucking victim, world blaming, manipulative fucking prick, and I'm a stand up fucking man of integrity today, then why can't everyone else do this, you know? Like, there was, like, I'm not a fucking Superman, I didn't fucking just, you know, like.
And Lord knows we make fucking mistakes every day. You know,
Right.
it's perfection. I don't think perfection is necessary for us to have a good life, but things are complicated. I want to go back to that idea you were talking about, or we've been talking about, but I think part of the disconnect for liberals is, and I think it's a normal young thing. You know what I mean? I think you're right on time with where you're going, and actually, you're probably early because it took me till I was like 30 to start to be like, wait a second. Um, but I was watching Titanic yesterday. I don't know why, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm doing my best. You know what? I will say though, Downton Abbey is a good. I love how I'm going to shoehorn this. I'm so proud of myself. I'm the best podcaster in the fucking world. So here's how this works. I was watching Titanic yesterday because I'm super manly. And the ham-handed, heavy-handed blops, you know, when I get that, you can't get into all the nuance in every movie and blah, 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 even though the motherfucker's 3 hours. In Titanic, everybody on the top level, right? All the rich people were all boring, right? They were all conniving. They were all slimy, except for that, what's her face from Fried Green Tomatoes? The water boy's mom. Anyway, so all of the rich people were all boring and stuffy and manipulative and shitty, right? And all the people on the steerage deck, the proletariat, were all just fun-loving and carefree and dancing a jig and kind and generous. fuck you. Okay. If you don't know any shitty poor people, you don't know no fucking poor people. Okay. Actually, even better, if you don't know any shitty poor people, you're the shitty poor person. It is what it is. The idea that everybody who's rich, no. There are shitty rich people and there are fucking kind, generous, beautiful rich people. There are shitty poor people and there are kind, generous, beautiful poor people. Downton Abbey, sorry everybody, is it's a stupid soap opera bullshit, blah, blah, blah. But it actually is a good example of here's these complicated stories of these motherfuckers on the, of the rich people, the bourgeois, and these complicated stories in the proletariat. There are assholes up here and there are assholes up here. There are kind, generous people up here and there are kind, generous people down here. These people are having problems. These people are having problems. Life is ruthless, and it does not decide who it's going to rain on. It rains on the just as well as the unjust. Whatever. So I'm not saying that it wouldn't be awesome to have money. You know what I mean? Especially if but like even these days, we were talking about trauma and stuff. Therapy is pretty fucking. I mean, you can get therapy for free. You can absolutely get therapy for free. The idea that, oh, these people are uninsured and they go to, especially in California, New York, motherfucker, make a phone call. Black people don't have phones. You know what I mean? Of course they have phones. Some of them may be Metro, but that shit's unlimited. You know what I mean? Just go online and go medical.com. Boom. You have just, go sign up. There's abundant opportunity for everybody to have insurance, and most of them do, for everybody to have SNAP or have financial assistance, and most of the idea that these people are just waiting, oh, I don't, and not just that, why am I going on a tangent about emergency rooms? Do you understand what I'm saying about Downton Abbey and Titanic? I'm saying shit's complicated. I'm saying humans are going to do human shit,
Right. No, that's the point, like that, like, and like, so I want to tell this story, but it's very closely related to, like, I need to make up some people in this situation.
Okay.
But anyways, like, I was with some people, and a good friend of mine, like, just had a baby, and like she is a white woman and her boyfriend is a black man.
Boo! No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
And
I had to do the joke.
Dude, I was watching Shameless the other day, and the guy in Shameless has such a funny name for biracial kids. It was so fucked up, but Shameless is a funny ass show. If you don't watch Shameless, go watch it. Anyways, yeah, and this other person, and this baby is like, 2-3 months old, maybe, like infant, so cute. This other person I know, like, is holding the baby and is like, isn't it, like, is talking to the baby in a baby voice and saying, isn't it so great that Kamala is in office now, because now you can do it too. Only now that Kamala's been in office, now that somebody who looks like you can do it also. And like, I was like, this is what's feeding into it. Mm-hmm. Like, like, I can't fucking believe that, like, you, and thank God that this baby's fucking 2 months old and is not gonna remember shit, and the baby's not, like, maybe 3, 4, 5 yet, like, but it's that type of behavior where, like, oh, look, only now you can be successful because Barack Obama was in office. And now that one person who maybe looks different than the other people that have done it, look, now you can do it too. You couldn't do it before, though. You couldn't be successful before this. And like, that's like this false progressiveness about what's going on right now is like, it is not progressive to tell people that fucking, like, oh,
that,
you
that
can't
they're
do something.
responsible for their own decisions, that they're
Right.
responsible for their own success or failure. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I can't fucking get on board with that. I can't, like, I don't live my life today thinking that, oh, if I fail or succeed at what I do, it's of some other human's doing, Oh, if I fucking lose at the game of life, it's your fault for fucking doing this, or I need this to win, and like, I the reason why I brought up that example is because I feel like I'm seeing like the victimization of other people because of some personality, like some characteristic that they have, being pushed into future generations. And like, that is not fucking okay. That is not how we're going to end this.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like, it was a fucking weird moment for me to be in, and really see that, and see that, that like that's so normal. There was many of other people around, like 10, 15, and everyone was just like, oh yeah, that's great, like, I'm like,
Right.
you know,
And I would venture to say that whoever said that to them hasn't been properly fucked in a long time. Do you think that might be true? I know you know this person and it might get back to them, probably not, but they probably haven't been properly fucked in a long time. Taking it down to the root is an important thing. Boiling it down to what's important. I don't know if this is a person that you want to imagine them squirting all over the floor, but I think it's an important idea. I think.
all right, wait, look, you have two choices here. I'm either gonna tell you right now and you're gonna laugh on air but bleep it out, or I'm gonna tell you off air.
uh, it wouldn't take that long. Wait. You wouldn't say the name, but like, wait, is it somebody I know?
Not personally.
Okay, so then it probably. Oh, you want to describe the person?
No, I'll just say one thing and you'll know.
And even that one thing we'll have to beep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, you better not. God damn it. Because even if I beeped it, then people will see your mouth move maybe, and then I don't know.
Yeah. I'll tell you later, but yeah, no, it's not somebody.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Say it and I'll beep it. Oh no! Ow! Okay. I'm
Look,
sorry.
you're right.
I'm sorry,
right.
but I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I love you very much.
No. I think that was the most beautiful answer you could have gave, and I think it is absolutely right. We don't need to talk about it anymore.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say because then I'll have to beep out that part. Okay.
It's a good morning, motherfucker.
It's a very good morning. I think humans seek approval, attention, camaraderie, love in lots of different ways. And when we're not getting it from certain areas, we can definitely, our subconscious will find another way, right? Our subconscious will find another way. So if we're not squirting on the floor is a great big slapdash, you know what I mean, over the top. But the idea of receiving love, receiving the energy expense, or fluid, the getting, touch and approval and importance and acceptance and whatever you want to call it. If we're not getting that some way or another, we're gonna find a way. We need it. We're all humans. We all need acceptance. We need approval. We need camaraderie. And so to be like, look, everybody, I'm a good white woman. that makes people feel like everybody's looking at me right now. Everybody's believing that I'm good. Everybody approves of me. I said the right things, and that's making black girls. If I can make a black girl go, mm-hmm, that means, oh, white women get a hard on for a black girl going, mm-hmm. You tell them they want to feel that important. I'm
correct.
cool. Huh?
Blackness is not correctness.
Correct. There are a lot of shitty black people. I just want to see one story. I want to see one fucking movie where it's not Sylvie's Love or whatever the fuck, some bullshit on Amazon about like, and then look at this white romantic comedy, but we painted them black. Are you happy now, white women? Like, I just want to see one where it's a ratchet ass bitch eating fucking fire Cheetos, sitting behind a fucking DMV, treating people poorly because you sometimes fucking do. I want to see a real story, a human story. I don't want to see everybody up on the top deck was shitty and everybody down here was nice. No, stupid. That's not how life works. And I would even venture to fucking say that that movie was written, I think, and directed by an incredibly rich director. James Cameron had fucking money before he made Titanic. You think he was fuck me rich afterwards, but he was fuck me rich beforehand. And yet he's like, look at all the mean rich people because I had a boring dinner party. Nigga, you are rich. Like shit is good for you. And you're like, look, everybody in the proletariat, I don't like the rich people either. Don't eat me. Fuck you. Fuck you. And I'll say this to the other point you were making. Part of the reason of, oh, isn't it great that Kamala is blah, 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 because now the reason why that's never gonna, that's not a good way to live is because it's never enough, right? You and I have been victims before, self-proclaimed victims before. It was never like, oh, good, I got the money. Oh, good, I stole the thing. I'm good now. Oh, good, I got the approval. Oh, good, I strong-armed somebody into, one time I threw a jar of jam in a rage. I was sober at the time, dry. I threw a jar of jam through a sliding glass door and I didn't have to pick it up. I didn't have to pick it up because my family knew I'm an emotionally abusive person. And if they tried to make me do that, I was going to throw another fucking tantrum. Why in the fuck would my poor brother and dad have to clean that up? It was me who did it, right? But because of it's never enough, right? So the idea that, oh, if we just get the right looking person, we also need somebody in a wheelchair and somebody with an eating disorder in a wheelchair and somebody who stutters with an eating disorder in a wheelchair. We need somebody who's black and Muslim and this. That way, everybody has no. There is never enough because the machine, the energy behind it is manipulative victim shitness. It's immaturity. It's not responsibility, like you said.
Well, it's like fucking validation. I mean, in our spiritual program, like, we talk about the whole, and the whole is something that every fucking human has.
We talk about it a lot on the show.
Not the butthole, not the one that the fist goes in, Peter. Come on, man. Come on.
Where the tongue goes in.
But like, and we can try anything from relationships to drinking to drugs to gambling to fucking hookers to money to cars to dirt bikes, whatever it is, to fill that. What it really is validation. And when I'm peeling back the fucking world to get validation, I'm gonna get a little bit and be like, ooh, that tastes good. Give me some more. Oh, I just want some more, like, and that is an endless like hunger for validation and for somebody to pet me into being okay that can literally be solved with one thing. And that's just flat out knowing that today, which is, this is something that we fucking practice or I do today, is that today, no matter what, like, I'm capable of being good enough and I am good enough no matter what the situation is. And then I can proceed into truly believing that my life is in my own hands and of my own doing, you know? Not totally, you know, I'm a little extra crazy, like I'm sure yourself is, and need some help and guidance. But, you know, that's the whole thing behind it, is that, you know, like I feel like, you know, the people that are fucking just like you were saying, oh, we need the people, we need a person in the wheelchair to make me feel like I can do it because I'm in a wheelchair. Motherfucker, how about you just believe the wheelchair doesn't stop you from fucking doing anything?
Hmm.
You know, like,
That only happens from people around them telling them that the wheelchair doesn't stop them from doing anything.
right, giving them that push. Fucking, you know?
Right. And it's not even people in a wheelchair who are doing that mostly. It's smarmy, unfucked white women. Right. So I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to go back to it. And maybe that's just because the law of averages. I think that, that might be just, there's just a majority of, 65 or 60%, I think, is of the country is white. So obviously 60-ish percent of whatever group is probably going to be white. But I think there's something built into women, love you girls, but there's something built into women who is desperate to be that mother. And especially the ones who have not had kids will fill that hole with something. They're going to mother somebody. And if they can stand up and go, we need somebody who's, in a wheelchair to be in the blah, 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 they're going to feel that need to be a mother, to protect, to be, the mama bear, to feed, to provide, to that shelter, that home, that whatever. They're going to feed that importance one way or another. And they can do that by going, we need somebody who's in a wheelchair. We need somebody who's black. We need somebody. And what filters that, balances, whatever you want to call it, is real men, you fuck. Masculinity balances femininity. So if femininity's going fucking nuts, who's at fault? Is it the girls? No, it's the fucking men who are like, I don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation. Oh, did I hurt you when I choked you? Choke her, stupid ass. Be a fucking man. Be a fucking man. Put some bass in your voice, you dumb piece of shit. Make a decision. Be a fucking, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying men don't cry. I'm not saying men don't carry and protect them, whatever, but balance. Be fucking solid. If your girl is going like and wanting to push you into being a quiet, not submissive, whatever. If you like a fucking heel in your ass, go for it. I'm not saying you all have to be dominant, but I'm saying like mentally, like energy wise, if you're being like, oh, I'm sorry for being a man, where would you like to eat? You're so pretty. I don't deserve you. You're out of my league. Fuck you, dude. God damn it, that's not what women need. That's not what women want. I'm saying on that fuck a dating area, I'm saying if femininity is going crazy, it's our responsibility. It's masculinity's responsibility to be like, would you shut the fuck up? Colloquially, you know what I mean? Like energy wise, to be like, no, I'm not going to be held around by the nose because I'm afraid you're going to take away the pussy, because I'm afraid, what are we afraid of? Stop it. We need both sides. You know what I mean? So
right,
boys, stop
right.
acting like boys.
No, exactly. And that's, it's like the more we kind of talk about like the different topics, whether it's between like femininity and masculinity, or like the political parties, or fucking whatever the fuck it is, I believe that the core problem is that there's this imbalance that happens, and either the two things that we're seeing happening is the people that are way up here are telling these people that, oh, it's okay to be fucking way down here, or the fucking people that are up here aren't being fucking, like respectively put in their fucking place and coming back together. And that's whether fucking we're talking about Democrats and Republicans, or women and men, like you just said with men. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry for being a man, fucking, you know, like, oh, I shouldn't be, you know, I shouldn't be strong and fucking make decisions for myself, like feminism, you know, like, or literally me, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for thinking myself because it's a little more fucking right leaning. And I can't fucking speak out about it because like, I'm guilty of that. And that's the fucking issue, you know? And like, that's why I'm here now, you know, like, because I've come to realize this, that like, we live in this fucking era right now where it's like, everything's taboo and fucking we're all walking on eggshells and fucking, oh, you know, make sure you're accepting of fucking everything and you have to like everything. This is the newest thing I've been reading about and fucking looking into, is that you know, like, that especially in California, it's like a fucking unspoken law that like you have to love everything. Like, if you as Peter, like, says that you don't want to date a trans woman, that's like fuck you, like you're not allowed to have that preference, you know? You're not allowed to fucking do that. Or if you don't want to date a woman with this characteristic, like, no, 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 you have to be loving. And like, under all that is really like this fucking make everyone happy, fucking no disagreements, fucking don't stand your ground. And like, this shit is gonna put us in the fucking hole. Like, we all need to fucking raise our voice more. We all need to fucking argue more. We all need to be fucking more out there with our opinions, you know? Like, that shit is good for us. It's fucking good to fucking let that shit out and fucking stand your ground and piss people off and fucking apologize. And, you
Right.
know, like, I don't know, it just seems like such the natural circle of how it's supposed to be. But right now there's all this, I'm sorry for being me, or, you know, fucking, I'm sorry that you have to be that way. And like, it's, I don't see that as building a productive future for any part, politically, in society, in relationships, in friendships, in anything. That's not the fucking way. I can't fucking get on board with that, you know, like, and think that that's the way that we are gonna continue to evolve as a fucking human race, you know. And like, I feel like that's why I've gotten heated in moments in conversations, you know, with people who disagree with the other side, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm just trying to fucking show you that like this shit is not helping either one of us, you know? And that's kind of the point that I was going back to in the beginning, is I have my beliefs for the betterment of everything, not because I'm fucking, oh, I'm just fucking this way or that way, you know, like, I truly have my beliefs because I'm thinking about fucking everyone here, you know?
Right. And and at the very least, maybe we'll wrap up with this. Um, at the very least, I know, because I have liberal friends, I've had liberal people on the show, and because it's really easy to find out why the liberals believe what they believe on social media, on TV, you know, watch black stories, suck my dick, make a good black story. How about that? Uh, What, Black Panther is a black movie? Suck my dick. A white guy fucking came up with the idea, you stupid ass. It's a fucking comic book movie. Anyway, sorry. So, um, uh, 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 what was I saying? Oh, it's really easy for me to find out why the liberal believes what they believe, but it's not very easy for a lot of liberals to understand why someone non-liberal, I don't even really call myself a conservative all that much, except for when I'm in conversation, but for people to understand why I believe what I believe. And the reality is, sorry to get Downton Abbey again, but that was a good example. There's a one character who's like a socialist, liberal, blah, blah, blah. He's insufferable for the first couple of seasons. But he's friends and family with the other ones. They get along like adults, regardless of their political leanings, right? Because that's what mature people do, right? I have lots of liberal friends. And if I know there are some I can have uncomfortable conversations with or have arguments with or whatever, and some I don't because, what's going to come of it? You know what I mean? And also, I'm not sure that they know enough about why they believe what they believe. So it's just going to get emotional very quickly, right? So it's like, you know what? I'm just going to talk about music and titties and whatever with this person. You know what I mean? But at least I try to understand that the liberals who disagree with me, for the most part, almost all, really want the best for all of us. They think that this is what's best for us, and I think that this is what's best for us. But the intention is the same. Just because we disagree on the way to do that doesn't mean that we have to throw them out all together, or they have to throw us out altogether. It's like we're doing our best, and whatever the majority is, it's a great system, guys. Whatever the majority thinks is best, we'll go with that, as long as it's legitimate votes. But as long as whatever the majority decides is like, drats. All right, fine. Well, okay, but I also have the House of Representatives, or I have so of this, and I have the, or at least I have my voice here, or whatever. Look, we're doing our best to moving along, and whatever. Like the bumpers in bowling, when you get a little too much to the left, you hit the bumper, and you go, and then a little too much to the right, and you hit the bumper, and so we're doing our best. We're getting along to the end here. But that happens through understanding at least that the other side is well-intentioned. You know what I mean? And that's why I think having conversations like we're having conversations like you're having in your world and I'm having in my world are important, because it's humanizing each other. And when you don't humanize each other, it's easy to go, everybody who voted for Trump is racist. You can't say that anymore. You can't. Liberals listening to my voice, you can't say it anymore. You know better. You know better. Because there's a lot of motherfucking black people. More, even if all of the votes from this election were totally legit, more black people voted for Trump, more gay people voted for Trump this year than did the last election. So hopefully there's just a little bit of a mental disconnect there. Something in your mind will go like, why is that? Oh, maybe it's because they're all just being led by 50 Cent. So you think black people are stupid? You know what I mean? Like, think a little mental.
They all hate themselves. Don't you remember? It's because they all hate themselves.
Oh yeah. White liberals are the fucking ugh. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and for coming out, dude. I appreciate it. Is there anything more you want to say in that vein?
No, I'm glad that I got on here and like just kind of got to shoot the shit with you, to be completely honest. Like, I think that it helps my head just for the future too, just to know that like I can have an honest conversation, with somebody that I agree with more, but what's going to be public. And I can be comfortable with that, because like we were talking about before, the shit that we keep inside, the shame and the fucking guilt about whatever it is, about if it's an experience or a belief or this, that, and the other thing, that shit's not going to do me no good. And it's not going to do the rest of the world no good either, if I'm not fucking trying to actively, just kind of voice what I think to the best of my ability, So I'm glad that fucking I got to get on here and just kind of, say that. And like I'm continuing to do research, I'm looking at fucking everything, I'm looking at fucking, well, like, why are conservatives pro-life, and I'm fucking like looking at that monster and being like,
that's a big door to open. Be careful. Be careful.
Like, what is this about, or like, what is this about over here, and I'm trying to openly read, listen, watch videos about, when it comes down to this shit, unless it's a direct fact, I'm more interested in seeing the person with the opinion themselves. whether that's, through a conversation or through a video. And I want to hear somebody talk about why they feel like their opinion's valid. I can look at the facts, but I want to hear a fucking opinion, because that's what's changeable, and that's what continues to develop. And like, I think that, like, I feel like I'm headed on the right path because I'm approaching it with an open mind. Okay, what's this about? Let's hear this out. And I see things all the time, because I listen to certain people and I follow certain pages, and I see something and go like, whoa, that's kind of fucked up, but like, what does he mean? Like, what is this truly about? So I'm just glad to be in a place where I can feel like I'm open-minded and ready to learn.
Yeah, two things to end it. Be, have lots of open-mindedness, but it didn't take me long. You're a smart kid. It won't take you long either. But you realize there are some patriots who are also out of their fucking mind as well. So it's like, both sides, both extremes, dumb, fuck you, I can tune you out. But, so it's not that everybody, as soon as you start to open your mind, for the liberals out there, as soon as you start to open your mind to the non-liberal side means you're just like carrying a fucking American flag. Relax, goddamn. And then the second thing is, POMI, they cannot hurt you. They cannot hurt you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if there's going to be some people, mostly white, who are going to go, "You're mean." You can say, "No, I'm not," and I can justify why I believe what I believe. And you can't have, what's the damn word? You can have great conversations, movable conversations, either online in comment section, or better yet, on the phone or even on Zoom. You can explain, you can have conversations that at least humanize you when someone knee jerks, "Oh, you're mean, you're right wing, they can't really hurt you. If they want to say you're evil because whatever, they were going to do it anyway. And they're just doing it because they're desperate for love. So, I would say as best you can. I mean, if someone, for me, when someone comes in swinging, "You piece of shit," some black guy on TikTok was like, "I don't care what neither of these, hillbillies say." I'm like, I'm Puerto Rican, you fucking creep. You know what I mean? Like, I have no problem calling a motherfucker a creep, or fuck you or whatever. If you're going to come in swinging, great. But if you're going to come in, like smart and thoughtful, okay, I'll meet you there. And they can't really hurt you. You know what I mean? It hasn't hurt my career. The people who are going to say, "POMI, be careful to be honest with what you're actually feeling, because someone might down the line say, I don't want you to work for me because you had a feeling once." Fuck you. They're just trying to justify their own cowardice because they're not real artists anyway. Okay? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say, "Suck my dick. I know myself, and I know I can justify everything I've said on here. I can justify everything." Not to say that everything I've said is right. No, but I can justify it. You know what I mean? I can justify why I think, or even if I've changed my mind, I can justify it. They can't hurt you. So
Right.
Don't be afraid of that.
Yeah.
All right.
Fucking amen to that.
Fucking A, man. So where can people find you?
You can find me social media. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. It's all POMI music. Just one word on there. I got fucking a song coming out on the 19th with like one of the best music videos I ever made. We had fucking a lighting setup. We had a fucking real ass camera. And so we got that coming out on the 19th. I got like fucking the most songs I've ever had, like, stored up behind the scenes. So I'm just ready to put out new music and fucking do all the music stuff. Yeah, and then on there is all the links to my music. It's POMI on Spotify, Apple Music, all that, and you can find it on there. And fucking come and swing into my DMs and fucking let's have a tough conversation. But yeah, thanks again for having me. I fucking really appreciate this. It's gonna be a fucking good day. Good start to my day. I was actually telling my therapist last week I was having like a tough time, and I was talking to her. I was like, you know what? I can't wait to just get on this Zoom call and talk some shit with Peter. I'm pretty sure it'll make me feel a little better. So I'm happy to be here.
Did you did you
Um,
did you
yeah,
tell
and
her
that's
I'm single?
where you can find me. So come check out the music. What was it?
I was making a joke. I was saying,
What'd you say?
did you tell her I'm single?
I could. I'll let her know.
I'm a handsome boy. I can fly her out to New York. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much, man. I'm looking forward to the video, and it's on the 19th of January, right?
Yeah, the 19th of January, I'm doing like a YouTube premiere. So there'll be like a live comment section and all that. We're gonna watch it together.
All right. So if anybody outside of Pacifica wants to meet a lot of Pacifica, Half Moon Bay, San Francisco motherfuckers, go into that YouTube section. There's gonna be
There
a
you
lot.
go.
There's gonna be a lot of hellas. People are gonna say hella a lot. Just be careful.
Yeah, hella cool to do this.
Right. Wherever you're listening, everybody, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this with your friends. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Peter_Feliciano and on TikTok at Conservatish and on Conservatish Podcast on Parlor, on just Google me, goddammit. I'm all over the place. And also, if you're listening on iTunes, on Spotify, wherever, make sure you rate the episode. Make sure you review it. Make sure you leave a little blurb about how I know everything or I know nothing or how handsome I am. Do what you need to do, but that's the way to support this is to beef this up. So thank you everybody so much. Thank you so much. POMI. I almost called you Liam, but I mixed it with, yeah, I will stop the recording now.
Awesome.